Hello and welcome to Daily Reflection with Aneel Aranha. Today is the 22nd of January 2020 and we're going to reflect on Mark chapter 3 verses 1 to 6. Again Jesus entered the synagogue and a man was there who had a withered hand. They watched him to see whether he would cure him on the Sabbath so that they might accuse him. And Jesus said to the man who had the withered hand, "Come forward." Then he said to them, "Is it lawful to do good or to do harm on the Sabbath, to save life or to kill?" But they were silent. He looked around at them with anger. He was grieved at their hardness of heart. And he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out and his hand was restored. The Pharisees went out and immediately conspired with the Herodians against him how to destroy him. The Gospel of the Lord. There is a very interesting serial currently showing on Netflix titled Messiah. It is the story of a man who seems to have extraordinary powers, and there is a possibility he could be Jesus come again, or he could be just a con man, or whatever. I am not one of those guys who spoils movies by revealing the plot. But the reason I mentioned this series is because it provided very good insights into how we might react to Jesus if he were to come again. We look at the serial and we recoil at how the people treated him and then shudder, thinking that we might just treat him the same way. I felt that way reading today's passage. Jesus enters the synagogue and sees a man with a withered hand, a hand that is not functional. I get the feeling it's a set-up that this man has deliberately been brought in to trap Jesus. Jesus, of course, feels compassion for the man and a great anger towards the Pharisees. What is right, he asks them, to do good or to do harm on the Sabbath, to save life or to take life? They don't answer because they are not interested in issues dealing with mercy and compassion. They are only interested in rule keeping. They want to see if Jesus is going to obey the Sabbath rule or if he's going to break it. If he obeys it and does nothing adventurous, they would go away pleased that he was following their rules, that he was under their thumb. But if he doesn't obey it, well, then he would learn what it meant to disobey them. Who did he think he was? Let me ask you a question. What would you do if you were the leader of a church or organization or whatever? This example holds good universally. And you had a whole lot of rules in place and somebody came in and started to break them. Now, these are very good rules you have. Let us grant you that. They're all made for very good reasons too. However, this person who's breaking them has a good reason for breaking them, better than the reasons you have for keeping them. What would you do? I am telling you, most of us would get furious with the upstart and look at ways in which to destroy him. Otherwise, he destroys our way of doing things, and that can't happen, can it? Even though his might make more sense and make life better for everybody. Let me ask you another question. If Jesus were to show up today, reminding us of the things he told us to do 2,000 years ago, how would we treat him? Do you really think we would treat him differently than the Pharisees did? So how do we change? Scripture says Jesus was grieved at their hardness of heart. Our hearts might be hard too, and if they are, let us ask him to take away our hearts of stone and give us hearts of flesh. God bless you.